Hi guys, so it's a very late video, but I thought why not? Here's my, just put this on silent, right? I'm in a mad rush today. Excuse me a minute. Yeah, Michael, I'm live on YouTube, mate. Yeah, do you wanna join me? No, join me on the show. Join me on the show. I'll put a link in the description. Now, yeah, go on. All right. Okay, bye. Sorry about that. Just getting someone to come on the show with us. Yeah, so this is the Spanish Grand Prix, round 6. And yeah, we are gonna watch this watch along. Given the excitement of the scorching hot temperatures of the last Grand Prix, I thought why not do this for this Grand Prix? Here's the link for the StreamYard link, and if anyone wants to join me on the show and talk about this Grand Prix whilst watching it, be fully welcome to. I'm with real time. It's live on Sky. I'll turn it down a bit before I get copyrighted, right, and get thrown off. But yeah, we've got obviously the two Mercedes up front. Hamilton, just showing actually the drivers' points in a minute. Hamilton 107, Verstappen second is 77, so it's 30 points in front, with Bottas with a close third, and actually the next one is Leclerc fourth, given the fact of how poor the Ferraris have been. But yeah, we've got Hamilton on pole with a stunning lap in qualifying. Bottas second, another Mercedes lockout. Verstappen third. He'll be the real threat, given how well the Red Bull performed in the hot temperatures at Silverstone. And then you've got the two racing points, or Pink Panthers, as we call them. So, but yeah, it should be an interesting Grand Prix. Just showing the previous winners. Hamilton's won it the last three times. Then that famous 2016 Grand Prix where the two Mercedes, Rosberg and Hamilton, took each other out, which gave Verstappen his maiden win on his debut for Red Bull. So, which sort of announced him to the world, really. Freezing cold. So it just came through the last. Excuse me. Yeah, just coming through the last chicane, coming back onto the start line now. Couple of burnouts. This one will really depend on how hot the temperatures are and how it's going to affect the tyres. Top 10 all seem to be starting on the soft tyre, so they couldn't get the medium tyre that they wanted, which seems to be the ideal tyre given what we saw in practice. But the drivers behind will be starting below the top 10, such as Vettel in 11th, who's the first one. He will get the ideal choice of starting on the mediums. And I think his best bet is to, even if he wants to get up to the podium, is to try and make it a one stop, which is going to be difficult in these wet conditions, to be honest. But here we go. 5 lights coming on now. And we're off. And it's a great start by Hamilton. Verstappen's challenging Bottas. Then we got actually Bottas gets squeezed out by one of the racing points. So, and then he's squeezed out by the other one. He's having the fight run round turn 3. Hamilton's first, Verstappen second. Sergio Perez third. Bottas fourth. With the other Racing Point in fifth and Albon sixth. But so a very poor start for Bottas there. Very poor start. Great start for Hamilton, but unfortunately he's got Verstappen on his case. So yeah, race on really, not game on. But yeah, very poor start from Bottas. He was hoping for a lot better start than that one. Pierre Gasly being challenged by Charles Leclerc. Yeah, so just get. So yeah, here we go. So lap two, Hamilton 1.5 seconds quicker in front, of Verstappen. Then it's another 2 seconds to Stroll. Hello, Ahmed. How are you? Yeah. Wow, what a good start that was. Yes. And the problem is now with Bottas. So the problem with Bottas is now he's got to get past one. He's got to get past Stroll. Sorry, it wasn't Perez, but he's got to get past him as soon as possible because this is going to spoil his race. Hamilton sets the new fastest lap of the race. 1:24.6, a fair bit slow, obviously full of fuel, so a fair bit slower than qualifying, and obviously not going to be in the top engine modes. Hi, Wade, how are you? Yeah, it was a very swaggering start. Well, for Hamilton, it was a good start. Surprised he didn't help his teammate out a little bit there. He could have quite easily come across in front of Bottas and given him the slipstream, but instead he gave Verstappen the slipstream. So yeah, coming up to lap 4 already, and Verstappen keeping Hamilton on this at 1.3 seconds. Bottas challenging, Stroll not close enough. But yeah, Racing Point seems to be very good on a straight line. Don't forget, Racing Point's obviously still basically last year's Mercedes car, and they're fighting with the appeal in that. Yeah, very impressive. The Racing Points are very impressive. They've been impressive all season, to be honest. But then many can argue if you're going to copy a car from last year that's won a world title, then it's going to be. Hi, Diego. It comes with big crystal Palace fan, I believe. Big up Steven Verstappen on lately. Come on, Hamilton. Yeah, come on, Hamilton. Yeah, Verstappen has been on fire lately. Yeah, Verstappen. He's look talent. Uh, yeah, it's my mum. So yeah, mum, say hello to everyone. Yeah, main reason why I'm still here, still alive. So yeah, big up to mum. Um, um, yeah, so yeah, Verstappen's a quality driver. I've got a problem with saying that. He's an absolute quality driver, and he's got a very good future. But his attitude sometimes is very, 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 very arrogant, and he's sort of like, I know better than everyone else. And well, I'm sorry, compared to a six-time world champion like Hamilton, you don't. So, in like compared to like what Hamilton's achieved in the sport, compared to what even Vettel's achieved in the sport, you've done nothing yet, right? Yeah, you've got a great future, you've got a great talent, same as Charles Leclerc is. But the reason I prefer Charles Leclerc over Verstappen, and I think if Ferrari actually gave him a decent car at the same level as a Red Bull, he'd come out on top. Is because he learns from his mistakes. I mean, his interview today was that he always judges himself first, right? He always looks at himself first and see if he is to blame, right? And where he can learn from his mistakes, like in Styria, where he went up the inside of Vettel and took each other out. Whereas Verstappen, it's always someone else's problem. Well, yeah, you can say he doesn't listen to his team. Well, he did in the end. But it did take someone who's actually, compared to a lot of people that say there aren't any women in Formula One, right? It was a woman strategist that won Red Bull the Grand Prix, right?
Big up to the women.
Hi, Arabi. Hi, Stephen. I subscribe for Arsenal, but I am not complaining for F1 too. Thank you for that. Means a lot. But yeah, also on the content, I was supposed to be starting my videos for the charity this week, but I've been struggling to sleep because I've been in a lot of pain recently. So means I've been very tired this week. So I will be doing those videos next week, and as well as the charity is going to be linking them to their website and their Hive network. You can check them out as well, and there's valuable information you can learn on even just being a patient, whether alone being a liver patient as well. So yeah, share that content around, and that's what the channel's here for. Agree with you, Steve, 100%. Yeah. So I mean, I think sometimes Verstappen, he can be a very little hot-headed, and he just needs to sometimes step back at times and just like take a moment to look at things. I think if he does that, he can be an exceptional driver in Formula One. So coming up to starting lap 8, Hamilton still only 1.5 seconds. Bottas is with the fastest lap at the minute. Obviously, fastest lap you get an extra point. But obviously that will come later in the race as the fuel dies down. Bottas is 3 seconds behind Hamilton, but he's finally cleared Stroll and Perez. And this is the thing, Albon needs to do the same as well, because if Albon wants to be in the same fight and wants to stay at Red Bull, he's going to have to start joining this fight with Mercedes rather than getting stuck behind the racing points all the time, because that's what cost Gasly, because he wasn't in the fight with Verstappen. Last season, you could forgive Albon; it was his first season, and you could say he needed to close the gaps, and he should have got a podium in Brazil if it weren't for Hamilton, and he should have got a podium in Austria if it wasn't for Hamilton as well. But you can't just say, well, you should have got a podium in that sense. In the end, you didn't. You need to go next race and do it again. And you need to do it on a consistent basis in a top team like Red Bull, because Red Bull, they won't hold back. They're ruthless. They're like, you don't perform, you're out. I mean, I sometimes believe Arsenal should be like that, but can't have everything. So actually Perez, who was actually fourth, has dropped behind his teammate from the start. Vettel's still 11th, stuck behind Lando Norris, and that just shows how far off Ferrari have dropped. And it's very, very interesting that this sort of dip in performance started after they sort of had the Red Bull and Mercedes had the rules clarified by the FIA in terms of engine power and certain burning of oil towards the engine. And ever since then, they've sort of been dipping in power. But there's more issues than that to this car than just the engine power. It's just not balanced at all. And you can see it because you've got, like I said, you've got Racing Point, you've got McLaren now in front of them, who are having an extraordinary season already. Tyres seem to be holding on for now. So at least we've gone 10 laps and they ain't blistering, at least on the Mercedes. So far, so good. But it's still a long way to go. We've got six, it's on lap 10, we've still got another 56 laps after this lap to go. So they've still got to do a long distance at least, and they're trying to eke as much performance out of these soft tyres as possible, so they won't be driving flat out on them. Because a circuit like Barcelona will just punish them badly. So yeah, what I'll do as well is if I do this to everyone in the chat, there's the link. If you want to come on and join us in this watch along, then by all means, click on the link, and yeah, you can have your say on this Grand Prix so far. So far, so good. They're looking at Bottas's tyres performance, and they're not too bad after 11 laps. Some people are saying they're only going to last 6 or 7. So it obviously means that they're not driving full pelt, like I said. So yeah, but like I said, we got a long way to go yet. But it doesn't seem that Mercedes don't seem to have the troubles that they had in the last Grand Prix with the hot temperatures, which is actually that they've actually had this problem since 2015, really, because because they were caught out in Malaysia in 2015 with hot temperatures, that they had to do an extra stop, whereas Ferrari didn't, and that's how Ferrari won the race. They didn't get caught out in 2014 and didn't adapt on it because they were 3 seconds quicker than everyone else. But ever since they were exposed in that Grand Prix in Malaysia, they haven't really sorted out the issue. But then, in the end, you could say they've built a car for every Grand Prix to at least perform in every Grand Prix, and that's what you need. You need one that's going to perform in literally, say, 20 out of the 22 Grand Prix, and then the other 2 you make the best of what you can. Just like 2018 Monaco and Singapore, they were expecting to be long off. Now, Singapore, it literally took Hamilton to drive the lap of his life to get the pole position he needed. And it literally had to be inch perfect. And I remember watching the lap again, and there wasn't one problem with it. I don't think anyone could have driven that any better, not even probably Senna. But like Monaco, the reason they were 5th is because the car wasn't specifically built like the Red Bulls, where it was very good in high sort of downforce situations and very good mechanically. It's more designed to sort of suit every sort of circuit. So it's going to suit maybe 90% of the circuit that he's driving on. And that's what you need to do. That's how you end up winning so many Grand Prix and so many championships. Ferrari did it with Schumacher. McLaren did it with Senna and Prost. So yeah, so it's all right building a car that will, like Ferrari, like last year, they built a car that was brilliant in straight line. So Monza, even in Monza, they were struggling. If it weren't for, I'd say, Leclerc, don't get me wrong, he deserved the Grand Prix win, but some of his sort of defensive manoeuvres were a little bit questionable. But yeah, they built a car that in a straight line in Monza was going to be quicker. Same with Canada. And the only reason they lost the Canadian Grand Prix is because of the incident with Vettel. And that was very debatable. About a lot of people at that Grand Prix didn't think that was right to get a penalty. Some people said it was, but it's like any football decision. There's always going to be a debate whether it was or wasn't. Is it a penalty? Is it not? But in the end, it's the stewards who make the decisions, and we can only just sit here and moan about it. But in the end, we can't. In the end, that's the end of it, and they can't go back and change it. So, but what I do love about hey Stephen, how you been? Just let you know that thing with the girl. Oh, sorry to hear that, mate. Oh well. But at least you had a go. That's all you can do. So, at least you know where you stand. So, I that's what I say. So, what's that? Have a beer, move on. So, but there you go. So they're coming up with a particular strategy. So they're looking at lap 15, which we are on now. If we want a 2-stop strategy, which would require 2 softs and a medium, or a 1-stop where they stop now and put the hards on. And a lot of people didn't like the hards because they couldn't get temperature in them. So, well, it's going to be interesting whether they want to do 1 stop or 2 or not. But I think they want to try and stretch this stint out as much as they can. So we'll have to I think we're still going to be a few laps away in a minute until a pit stop. Just to see how long it goes. We're on board with Hamilton now. He's now 3 seconds in front. So he's just been told over the radio to keep extending the gap. Let me know if you're hearing the TV, because I might have to turn it back down again. So I don't really want to get copyrighted. But yeah, so he's being told to try and keep extending the gap at the minute. So obviously he's been told to push a little bit more. So that probably means now that he's coming up to a pit stop. And again, it shows that Mercedes, people are moaning that it's getting boring, that Mercedes are winning all the time. But unfortunately, what can you do? If you ain't got competition that's going to build a car that's just as good, right? And unfortunately, Red Bull aren't building a car that's going to be good from day one. They've built a car that's, well, after 3-4 Grand Prix and a few updates, will actually compete. But it's unfortunately, if the competition ain't good enough, what do you expect them to do? Back off? No. So I mean, it doesn't bother me, to be honest, because I'm a Hamilton fan. But to a lot of F1 fans these days, some of them do say that it is getting a bit boring. But yeah, we did have that with Ferrari at one point with Schumacher, but in the end, what can you do? All okay, can't hear the TV. Oh, good. That's okay then. Right, because otherwise you'll be getting live commentary. So yeah, just quickly have a look at the channel. Yeah, so we are on 348 subscribers. So big up to everyone who has subscribed already. If you haven't, links are in the description. Are they in the description? No, they're not in the description. Oh my god, they're not in the description. Oh god. What do I do now? I might edit. There you go. So if I go here, go to there. So currently on board with Raikkonen 15th, chasing down Magnussen in 14th on the medium tyre. Radio from Verstappen. He's struggling with the rears. Whee! Right, so I think it's back to situation normal in a minute. And actually, we're looking like there could be a pit stop on the way. It looks like Red Bull are going to jump the gun and try and promote the undercut. With who, though? It is with Albon. Albon stopped from... so he's going to try and undercut the racing points. And he's put the hard tyre on. He's put the hard tyre on. So, let me just think. There. Save changes. There you go. So yeah, links should be in the description if you want to subscribe. Smash a like on the video as well, always helps. Want to try and get up to 1,000 subscribers first, because if we can get to 1,000 subscribers, what I can do is sort of get it monetized, and then we can send that money to the charity, Children's Liver Disease Foundation, which goes towards vital research for liver and also respite for families as well. The tyre degradation is holding back. Yeah, unfortunately, with these hot conditions, the Pirelli tyres do suffer from tyre degradation, and it's just unfortunately because we are stuck with having to start this season in the middle of the summer, not in March. So it's why the temperatures, such as circuits like Barcelona, is so difficult. And Ocon challenging Raikkonen at the minute. So, but yeah, you're totally right, Diego. Is they are struggling with tyre degradation. Some people say that it's not right and they should try something else, something different. Different what?
Competition of tyres. Back to
Different competition of tyres. Yeah. That is an option. But then again, if they get the biggest deal with just one tyre company, then what can you do? Because that's what really drives the sport in the end. Yep. This is why hopefully the new rules with the capping of spending budgets in 2022. And Ocon nearly forced off the grass, challenging Raikkonen, but he gets the move done, and he's moved up to 14th place. And now Albon's all over the back of Raikkonen, challenging round turn 3. And he's now dropped down to 16th, Raikkonen. Raikkonen now struggling with those medium tyres, which shows if you're also in the middle of the pack that you are going to struggle with keeping your tyres in good condition, because you're not getting the one cool air, so you're sliding all over the place. Oh, Verstappen's not happy. Verstappen's not very happy. He's having arguments with his engineer that he wants the box because his rears are dead, and the team aren't listening. This is where at times where you sort of, yeah. What he's saying is the rears are dead, but the tyre performance showing that he's only lost 50%. So yeah, tough on the calls. Verstappen not happy, Diego. Diego says. Something tells me you're not a great fan of his. Yeah, Verstappen actually now has boxed for mediums, so that will be definitely a 2-stop strategy. This is where he needs to just okay, right, and a sub 2 second, 1.9 seconds at pit stop. Jeez, right, and because of that, he's no, because we have seen quicker. What? Record? No, they've always been doing 2 sub 2 pit stops. That's what they always aim for. But because of that sub 2 second pit stop, he's got most importantly, he's only come out behind Bottas and in front of Stroll and Perez, the two racing points, 14 years. So, yeah, which is key. So, no doubt that Mercedes will now react. They've got time to sort of react when they sort of really want, but they will react soon. Who will react first is another matter. Most likely it will probably be Hamilton first now, because if he did get stuck behind the racing points, you could see why they will want to do it with Bottas first, because he'd be held up. So, yeah. Like I said, I will paste this again. Let me just invite. So, on board with Hamilton, and he's just been told to box. Not taking any risks here. So, Hamilton will be boxing for medium tyres on lap 23. So 23, and some predicted they'd only last 6 laps, these tyres. So they've done pretty well to get that far. So, obviously they haven't driven flat out to do that. Oh, slow. Oh, but he should still get out in front. Bottas is in at the same time. But Hamilton will get back in front. So Bottas comes out behind Verstappen. That was always going to be guaranteed. Verstappen hasn't got a pit, he's just pitted. Yeah, that was always going to happen, because obviously Verstappen got in front of the two racing points, so he didn't get held up. Hamilton, a bit slow on the left rear, and they're just going to show a replay of this. They show a replay, but they show a replay at an angle you can't see the left rear. I mean, what's the point in that? Right? It's stupid. Don't know who directed that one. Let me just check Twitter feed. Wow, that's no, I'm sorry. That's where I get really wound up with Verstappen, right? You ain't the one with the data, mate, right? They're the ones on the pit wall with the data. The reason they're looking at Hamilton is because they're trying to win you the Grand Prix, right? They're trying to make you keep up with Hamilton and win you the Grand Prix, and trying to come up with a different strategy, right? So all they're doing is their best, and right, they really don't need you, right, jumping down their throats because it's not going right, right? So sometimes you just need to keep your frigging head down and drive, right? Stop. Yeah. Is Hamilton on two-stop strategy? Yeah, by the look of it, they'll be on a two-stop strategy because he pitted for medium, same as Bottas. So they'll be on a two-stop strategy and they'll pit probably for softs towards the end of the Grand Prix. With Bottas setting a new fastest lap. Now Albon is on hards in 11th. He's struggling to get past this battle with Magnussen 9th, Ocon 10th, Albon 11th, and it makes me think, why don't they just try and just do the same what they're doing with Verstappen? And this is where Albon is going to get exposed, and if he's going to keep doing this, then like Gasly, he's going to find himself dropped out of Red Bull very, 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 very quickly. Because they won't hang on their laurels. Let's be honest. I think probably they'll keep him to the end of the season and see what happens from there, because obviously there's no summer break now because of the revised schedule. And actually, I'd like to know your thoughts on the different Grand Prix, such as Portimao in Portugal. There's the Tuscany Grand Prix, but that's at the old Imola circuit. So basically the San Marino Grand Prix. You've got, oh God, which one? Mugello, which is also in Italy. Right, sort of Ferrari had a very lot of convincing in this one. But then Mugello is used by Ferrari. But it looks like a good circuit. So, again, Albon struggling to get past this battle here. Plus, let me know where you're watching this. If you are watching it or you're just following my live stream. I'd love to know where you are, what's going on, and I hope you have a wonderful day. By the way, we've had enough thunderstorm here. Luckily, it hasn't damaged our internet. But I'd say thunderstorm, but there was like one flash of lightning. Just heavy rain, really. And sounds of thunder, but just heavy rain, and it hasn't really cleared the air. To be honest, it's still very sticky. So yeah, the current after lap 28, the intervals between each driver, so that's the gap between each driver. You got Hamilton first, then 3.6 seconds behind is Verstappen. Then you've got Bottas, as Ocon gets past Magnussen into 9th place, and Magnussen now starting to struggle with his tyres. As you can see, Albon's just gone right round the outside of turn 3. Very brave move around Magnussen, but looks very easy because, yeah, those tyres are done. He's getting swamped. Magnussen is getting swamped. He's now gone past by Sainz. Gasly's now all over his tail. I don't know why Haas have left him out that long. Right, because he's just been overtaken wherever on the circuit. What are your thoughts on Toto stepping down? He owns 30% of the team. I actually didn't know he owned 30% of the team, but he's made suggestions he might be leaving, but then he said he's taking time to reflect on his achievements so far. Obviously, everyone's should take time to reflect on what's going on in their life, and he's had a lot of success. I don't believe he'll go. Same as I don't believe Hamilton will leave either. But in the end, all things come to an end. It's like with Osborne left Ferrari after 2006 with Schumacher, as Schumacher retired as well. So it'd be sad. Will it affect Hamilton's decision to stay at the team? I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, but it would be sad if he did leave, but I don't think he will.
What would you leave?
Yeah, why would you leave? But then people might say he's achieved everything he wants to achieve. I still think he wants to win one more title because, especially constructors, because people say that Mercedes haven't that Mercedes are Mercedes are the only ones that have done back to back. The only ones, sorry, they've done 6 drivers and constructors titles. Ferrari only did 5 constructors titles and drivers titles and 1 constructors title. It would have been the drivers title also in 1999 when they won the constructors, but if it weren't for Schumacher breaking his leg in Silverstone, because that car. Just listening to your stream, I'm on the M4 en route to Wales. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'll keep you updated, mate. But yeah, make sure you stay. You're staying safe. Yeah, always rains in Wales. Mum knows because she's half Welsh. Grandma, our grandma was Welsh. My grandma was Welsh, and and I'll let you actually know. My mum's first name's Ira, which actually is snow in Welsh. I know, it's odd, but there you go. So, so yeah, we're coming up to half distance. Third lap at the end of lap 31. Well, actually, no, not the end of lap 31 because I'm looking at halfway down the grid. So, yeah, lap 31. Hi, Meister Fighter. Hey, Stephen, saw you on Claude's stream 2 days ago. Much respect for raising awareness on liver disease. You're doing great. Cheers from Sabine. Thank you, lot. It means a lot. Cheers to that. Thank you. Yeah, I think after everything I've been through, it's the least thing I can do is to give something back to everyone that sort of helped both charity and also the NHS to sort of give something back because they've kept me alive so far. There's still a long way to go at the minute, but with my health at the minute, but it's just nothing else that I've not had to deal with. So don't get me wrong, you can ask my mum. I've bitched about it, trust me.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but in the end, it's cards I'm dealt with. So you can. It doesn't change a thing. You still got to do it. So.
How's the race going?
What?
How's the race going?
Race is going good. Hamilton's leading, so he's 3 seconds ahead of Verstappen, who's too busy worrying about himself rather than trying to win the Grand Prix. Bottas still with the fastest lap in 3rd. And the 2 racing points are now having a battle between themselves. Perez is hassling Stroll here. Stroll's starting to struggle on his tyres. And actually, what I noticed is Ricciardo hasn't pitted yet, and that means Ricciardo is 4th. They've switched back now to Leclerc, who's stuck behind Lando Norris in 12th. Vettel behind Leclerc in 14th with Kvyat in 13th. Right. It's hard to imagine that last year this lot were fighting Mercedes for top spot. Apparently, I've just heard that there's apparently 20% chance of rain. I doubt it, compared by the look of the conditions at the minute in the skies. But like with anything in Formula One, I think what was it Murray Walker used to say, anything can happen in Formula One, and it usually does. Right? But no, I'm not going to do a Murrayism because I don't want Hamilton crashing out. That's the thing as well. Hamilton's just a wet weather master. As he comes around the last bend now to start lap 34. And Leclerc all over the back of Norris, trying to find a way through, coming up to turn 5. And Norris is locked up, so did Gasly in front of him in 10th. But still, Leclerc couldn't take advantage of it. Poor. So showing a replay of Albon in 8th. Late move by Ocon, but Albon wise to it, sweeps around the outside of turn 1 and overtakes. Then actually looking at the clouds, there is a % chance of rain. It does there does look, there is a very dark cloud. Whether it's gonna come towards the circuit, I don't know, but it is a very dark. It is one of those sort of angry dark clouds that you don't want to mess with. And definitely don't want to drive in. So wow, and no, he's trying to squeeze around here, trying to squeeze around Ocon, and now Leclerc's trying to go around the outside of Norris. Coming through the chicane, Leclerc, is he going to try and go around turn 9? No. Whoa. Both got DRS down the straight. Whoa. Whoa. Leclerc off the circuit. Forced off the circuit by Norris trying to go around the outside. Still on his tail. I feel Leclerc is a quality driver. Yeah, he is. He's I saw him in F2 in 2017 when he dominated that Grand Prix at that title. And some of the races, I mean, like the second race, because they have two races in two races in F2 or GP2 as it was still called back then. And yeah, oh rain, yes, Diego, oh rain, yes. But yeah, there's yes, I saw him in F2. And he, even from 8th place, he'd still managed to try and win the race from starting in reverse grid pole. So yeah, he's got grit, balls, whatever you want to call it. Right. And just showing a replay of Stroll just breezing past Ricciardo. And rain is coming towards the circuit. Right, just seeing a weather forecast on one of the monitors. And Vettel's being told a rain after lap 50. So in 14 laps time. Oh, this could spice things up a bit. Oh, why couldn't it just be an easy race? Not that I don't want to make it exciting, but yeah. So Ricardo's finally pitted and come out at 13th. Russell is now in the pits in 15th place. I watched MotoGP before. I kind of find F1 less exciting, but it's still fun. Yeah, you still get. I mean, in every there are some Grand Prix. You still get Grand Prix that like you got to sit there and like, oh my god, I'll rather fall asleep. I mean, the British Grand Prix was like one of those dominating ones until the last 2-3 laps. And if it weren't for the safety car coming out early and then all left pitting early, it would have been like one of those boring races. But you always get Grand Prix in F1. I don't care what anyone says, that are just like on the edge of your seat, like in any season. Even 2014, you had the Jordan Desert between Rosberg and Hamilton. Then Canada, where they both had, and it's a spin. Leclerc's just spun. He's just spun. I don't know what. I think he was trying to get past Norris, and he has spun the car. Hang on. Engines stopped working. I think Leclerc's out. Leclerc might be out of this Grand Prix. And whether he can start the car back up himself, I don't know. He's coming around. He actually wasn't trying to get past Lando Norris. He just lost the back end of the chicane. The last chicane, he's just lost the back end. He's got back going again, but now he's dead last. Yeah, there's something wrong with the engine. Again, he's got a box. There's a problem with his engine problems. It's such bad luck for Leclerc. He's not really had good luck when he's joined Ferrari, to be honest. Some mistakes have been himself, but there's been some, like Bahrain, for instance, he should have won, but if it weren't for the engine, why were they trying to max out the engine? I don't know. Diego comes out with O. Yeah, he took the chicane normally, just lost the back end. Just shows how efficient that car is. So, but again, you produce exciting racing like Monaco. Like the team let him down in qualifying, meant he got knocked out in Q1 in his first home Grand Prix for Ferrari, with a chance of getting points or even a podium. And and unfortunately, he's been trying to produce exciting racing, and he's been unlucky again. Oh, great! Might be thunderstorms. So I love that. They just said on Hamilton's radio, right? There's a chance of rain. It might be light, but it could be a thunderstorm. You lot work that one out. That's the thing. Sometimes you just need the good old spotters around the circuit. I remember Malaysia usually have it a lot because Malaysia storms can happen like that out of the blue. What? Hang the seaweed up. Is that what the world's do?
No, that's what fish do.
Right, okay.
All that tech and still can't work out the weather.
Yeah, sometimes you just need someone who's just going to spot the weather from the outside. especially at circuits where the country can produce weather storms very quickly, like in Malaysia. Malaysia, I can't believe they got rid of that Grand Prix. All right, let me know your thoughts about the Malaysia Grand Prix because I like that Grand Prix. It was a good one, especially where there's always the threat of rain. Even when there was 0% chance of rain, there was always a threat because of how quickly storms could. Right, they've pitted Leclerc. The seatbelts are undone. Well, they've so Albon's pitted on lap 40. They're still working on Leclerc's car. I don't know why. I think they should just retire him now. He's over a lap behind. Albon comes out a lap down in 11th. And he stays ahead of Ricardo. He's now on the medium tyre. And he's about to be lapped by his own teammate. And again, that's what you don't want as a Red Bull driver. Yeah, Leclerc has finally retired Leclerc's car. They've tried to fix the issue, they haven't, but that's him out of this Grand Prix for this weekend. And Ferrari's problems continue. Verstappen will want rain, but Hamilton is a master in the rain. Yeah, I think they're both quality drivers in the rain. I mean, Verstappen proved that last year in Germany, but I think Hamilton would have been challenging him for that Grand Prix victory if it weren't for the fact he had the flu that weekend. But yeah, and actually Verstappen has pitted despite the fact of the threat of rain. They have boxed him again for another set of mediums, which gives Hamilton the breathing space maybe he needs if there is going to be a threat of rain. So Red Bull must be confident that there isn't going to be a rain threat. Otherwise, why would they box him unless he literally run out of tyres? But those clouds above are getting darker and they are getting closer.
Repeat those and those of the
What's that?
repeat them.
Yeah, I'll give you a repeat. We're on lap 42 now. So after Verstappen's pitted for a new set of mediums, we've got Hamilton first, Bottas with the fastest lap in second, and 12 seconds behind. Verstappen in third. We've got Sainz who's just boxed and has come out in 10th. And he's going to be side by side with Albon. All right, Albon's going to have to act now. Oh, he's trying to go around the outside. Oh, he's trying to, but no, Sainz has just defended and stuck to his line. Excellent defending. But like I said, Verstappen third, Stroll fourth, Perez fifth. Signing up for Arsenal. Gasly sixth, Norris seventh, Kvyat eighth, Vettel ninth, and Sainz completes the top 10 and with Albon 11th. in
Here is just all over the back of this car thing.
just showing a replay of the Albon Science battle. Oh, Albon not quite impressed with Science forcing Albon off, but I think he had every right to. He was in front. Yeah, weather again getting closer. It's getting closer.
We're supposed to be doing a live stream.
Hmm?
We're supposed to be doing a live stream. We're supposed to be talking.
Oh, really? Stroll's just pitted, I believe, from fourth. It's come out in eighth. Just showing tyre performance between Hamilton and Bottas. Bottas is suffering with the left front, 20%. Hamilton's on 30%. Norris is pitted.
Okay,
Yeah, we met him last year at the British Grand Prix. He's come out. He's behind Gasly in 11th, but the rest will have to make their pit stops unless it rains. Verstappen's gap to Hamilton 32 seconds, which is plenty for a pit stop, especially if it starts raining. So, which they say is after lap 50. So we're getting towards that now. Look at that. The top four are the only ones that haven't been lapped. Kvyat's pitted from fifth, which means Vessel's moved up to fifth. And I think Vettel's just staying out to hoping to see if it rains. So Kvyat is exiting the pits. He'll come out in 12th in front of Magnussen. As Giovinazzi, I just seen on the board, on the interval board, he's pitted as well from 15th. Latifi's just gone past him. So's Raikkonen, so he'll come out plumb last. Plumb last, 19th. So, yeah. Let me know your thoughts. How you think the race is going. Yeah, let me know if you want me to keep do this on a regular basis. But Yeah, there's been good battles in this Grand Prix. It's still, obviously could be getting quite interesting with the threat of rain. It is getting very dark around the circuit now. It is getting. You can see it on the TV. It's getting darker. It's gone from sun to dark clouds. So Hamilton could be on course for his 7th Grand Slam, which would be pole, fastest lap, led every lap. Which I think has been repeated since the 1960s, apparently, from what I've just heard. Jim Clark, apparently. Why, you were like that?
No, I wasn't cheap about it.
Oi, I saw him on his channel. Oh, there you go. No, I saw him. There we go. These clouds are really gathering around. Mercedes are gonna box. Bottas coming in for soft tyres. That's gonna make it interesting between him and Verstappen. I'm sorry, what do you want me to do? I do apologise. But that, if the way it looks like, if he's on soft tyres, he could really chase down Verstappen now. Verstappen really could be under threat. So it's like I've left this on comment up. Verstappen will want rain now. He will want it to rain because he is on old medium tyres against Bottas's fresh soft tyres, and Hamilton has now been told he needs to box, but no, he stays out. Any tyre, the tyres seem okay from what I can see on the board, Diego. And he's just asked to know he doesn't want to go on the soft tyres, so he's just been told to stay out for now. But yeah, the same any tyre degradation, they're just showing his tyres. They've done 26 laps. The right rear, there looks to be a little a long blister on it now. That or very degraded line. But he's lost only within the space of what 7-8 laps. He's lost only 2 seconds to Verstappen. So it's not like he's falling 3 seconds a lap and he needs to box straight away. And he has boxed. He is boxing now. So the race leader, Lewis Hamilton, in the pits. And he gets his wish. He only gets medium tyres. He wants medium tyres. He's got medium tyres. And that should be him for the rest of the race to go to the end, unless obviously there is rain. But he is well clear of Verstappen. He's well clear of Bottas. Give it the next sector. It should be, yeah. 10.
Say it.
What? What?
Put them up again.
Oh, He's 10 seconds clear, 9.7 seconds clear of Verstappen, and Bottas 6 seconds away from Verstappen, with Perez another 50 odd seconds behind them. So yeah, and the FIA showing an investigation into Sergio Perez for ignoring blue flags. Wow. Now that's more. If that's the case, it's usually a slam dunk, and that's usually not arguable. That's usually if we've gone past 3 steward posts, marshal posts, where they've shown blue flags and he has not backed off. Well, Vettel has been told he can try and go to the end of the race. I doubt that. Again, he's been told very late that he needs to go to the end. Instead of being told at the start so he can manage the tyres, he's been told now he needs to manage them. Come on, Hamilton, give it some welly. Yeah, but he's got fastest lap, to be honest, so you can't really then say that, to be honest. He's just making sure his tyres are in check. He wants to also keep them good tyres, because if it does rain, he's got then some grip whilst the weather changes. Because if you've got tyre that's no grip, if it starts raining, it's going to be even worse. So, whilst, especially when it's not conceivable to pit for intermediates yet. But again, Ferrari not communicating again, and now they're telling Vettel he needs to go to the end on tyres that he's already used the best of. So he's got, if he gets swamped at the end, he's got no way of fighting. You could say that, especially the fact that he's leaving. But again, the strategists at Ferrari, I don't think that it's just because of Vettel. The strategists in general haven't been very good. And that's why the Mercedes have been able to dominate them year after year. What's that? That and John Todd. Yeah. Well, they haven't really replaced John Todd or Osborne. John Todd still managed to get them a title after Osborne retired in 2006. And the constructors title in 2008, which could be a trick question, because a lot of people say that like the last title they won was 2007. No, that was the drivers and constructors. Their last actual title they won was in 2008, and it's been now 12 years, and they haven't won any title. Well, yeah, you say that, but then they didn't win a title since Jody Scheckter in 1979, before Schumacher came along. So they have had gaps. It's like, say, yeah, but they've had periods of greatness. It's like Arsenal, for example. They've had periods of greatness in football, 30s, the 50s, the 70s. the late 80s and early 90s, and obviously the Wenger era.
And the 2000s.
That's what I said.
And the 2000s.
Yeah, the Wenger era. Who was in charge? The same as Man United have had periods of greatness with the Busby Babes and everything. And you've got Liverpool have had periods of, well, they've been dominant as well. And it's the same with Ferrari in Formula One. They've had periods of greatness, same as McLaren have had periods of greatness.
Yeah.
So, well, people arguing that Perez moved out of the way for Hamilton. Well, he did back off. So he might have a case that he shouldn't get the penalty, but we'll wait and see. Usually it's just that you've done it, that's the end of it. What?
Slam dunk.
Yeah, slam dunk.
And it. The others got it.
Kvit's just got a 5-second penalty for the same thing, ignoring blue flags. Perez hasn't got a penalty yet, but so we got 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go. Hamilton 13.9 seconds in front of Verstappen. Bottas third. With Perez in fourth. And there actually is no investigation left on Perez, so he's okay. So he's got away with that one. So, do you like and follow other sports too, or mainly F1 and football? I really like basketball. Basketball, I'm not really interested in, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not with basketball really. Tennis, I do like watching Wimbledon at times. I'm gonna watch the snooker later because I used to play pool in a pool team a long time ago, and I still play now for fun. But I like watching snooker. I used to watch snooker when I wasn't well, when I was in bed. I wasn't well. But yeah, I will be watching the snooker final later. Yeah, Sullivan's my favourite, obviously, because he was so quick. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, there are other sports. My main passion's obviously F1 and football, but especially F1 recently, because obviously with football being so dire in terms of being an Arsenal supporter, F1 is sort of more. I've been more towards that, to be honest. The fact that I still know a lot about the cars and the detail and everything. So, The Ferrari need to sort out their stables, their chassis, and their. Yeah, they do. I don't know if you haven't, if you know you haven't spelled that right, but it's an I at the end, not Y. But yeah, they do. They need to sort out the stables there because their horses aren't producing the power that they want. So yeah, maybe if you knew who's on the bottom of their feet, of the bottom of their legs, might help. Yeah, they really need to sort out what's going on at Ferrari because I think they've been mismanaged badly. Now, Sainz is coming up all over the back of Vettel. This should be easy for Sainz, to be honest. And again, out of the two between Ferrari and McLaren rivals, McLaren have now overtaken Ferrari. Like, those are two names in the sport we shouldn't lose. Like, I don't agree with Ferrari just getting money for just being in the sport because they've been in it from day one. Like, that's bullshit. Like, that's just not right. It's not fair. And I'm glad that they're changing the rules on that. And that Ferrari are going to have to take the hit. Because if that was the case, then you might as well say McLaren should get it as well because they've been there since '66. Monaco Grand Prix. Thank you, Diego, for another comment. Ronnie O'Sullivan, the master. Yeah, well, he is the master. Obviously, still got another two to go on to get to Stephen Hendry's record. Let me know your driver of the day. Let me know in the comments, in the chat or in the comments below, who your driver of the day is. People are going with Vettel the way he's been driving. I'm not so sure because he would have been a lot better state if the team. But then again, if he's been mismanaged by the team, I don't think he's lost his mojo. I just he's still a talented driver. It's just not the luck. There's much more to it than just luck.
Yeah.
Well, you say that last year, but he won the Singapore Grand Prix. I just feel that the relationship between him and Ferrari is broken down, and you can quite clearly see that because they're not communicating properly. You can see them. You can also see the mismanagement of the team. The team's not managed right at all, and that's why he's not performing compared to Mercedes and Hamilton. You can see how the teams run with Mercedes, and that's where I'll go back to your previous point, Diego, if I can find it in the chat. Should be able to. Oh. Which is this one. What are your thoughts on Toto leaving? I do feel Toto will. I think if he does leave, there'll be someone there to pick up the helm. Do you want to come say hello? It's just everyone around the world. This is my sister Zara.
Hi.
Right, pain in the ass. Yeah, I know she works very hard at doing that. But yeah, that's my sister, and that's the thing with liver. That's the thing with liver disease. It doesn't affect me; it affects everyone. As much as sometimes I think about myself at times, and when I'm in my bad days, it affects everyone in the family, and it's had a massive effect on all of us, and in good ways and bad ways. So, but yeah, at least so all today you can say you met my family. So, Yeah, just watching just watch the replay of Magnussen going off the circuit and losing part of the undercut side of his car after being challenged by Raikkonen. So we've got 5 laps to go, including this one. Like I said, leave it in the chat who you think's driver of the day is. They're going with the latest poll with Vettel at 28%, Verstappen at 17%, and then why is Verstappen always ahead of Hamilton in driver of the day? I think that's half of Netherlands voting for Verstappen. I really do. Like, because what has Verstappen done that's been better than Hamilton? Let me know. Because if he has done better than Hamilton, I'll quite easily say, yeah, he deserves driver of the day. He's been brilliant, like the German Grand Prix. Yeah, Perez has done just as good to stay fourth and be ahead of his teammate. You can, you can say that Science has done well from getting up, staying in 6th place. But Hamilton, compared to Hamilton's race compared to Verstappen's race, he's managed his tyres a lot better. He's I'll just take that down. There you go. Look, Diego says, "Big up your sister and mum." So there you go. So yeah, 3 laps to go now. But like I said, if Hamilton's managed his tyres a lot better, he's setting fastest laps. I don't see how Verstappen, and all Verstappen's been doing is arguing with his team about who they should be focusing on, themselves or or Hamilton. So I don't see how Verstappen has had a better race than Hamilton. Yeah, but I would say he's had a better race if he's been challenging him, and Hamilton's had a slower car and has just been able to fight him off. But then I could also make a case is that Hamilton had a slower car than Verstappen, right, and has managed to keep him at bay and win the race. So if he's managed to storm through from 14th to 3rd and 2nd, then you could say, yeah, okay, he deserves driver of the day from that position. But I don't see, See, look, it says here, Hamilton, man of the race. So Bottas is pitting for fastest lap. Yeah, but he with a brand new set of mediums, he'll still put a faster lap time because the fuel load will be lower. So he'll still get fastest lap. So he's pitted because he knows he ain't going to catch Verstappen, and he's going to get fastest lap to get an extra point to try and keep in front of, in front of Hamilton, but he's behind Verstappen. Big lock up from Norris, who's struggled a bit with traffic in this Grand Prix. He really has struggled with this battle and never been able to get away from it. As we start the final lap now, Hamilton 22 seconds in front. Replay, Grosjean nearly loses the back end. Just keeps the Haas from spinning off into the barriers just before turn 9. So, but I think it's been a good Grand Prix, but one that's been well managed by Hamilton. Verstappen's done well to split the Mercedes and stay there. I think Mercedes at times have been a little I've been a little late in reacting to Verstappen's and Red Bull's actions. Another torrid day for Ferrari. And just another weekend to forget. I think this season's a weekend to forget. Man, for me, is just it's Hamilton. You got to give it to him, right? Because and he comes through and he wins the Spanish Grand Prix, and he is 26 seconds in front, 23 seconds in front of next man, Max Verstappen, not Bottas. Bottas will come home third, 22 seconds behind. And look, and it just shows the level of dominance Mercedes have in this season, the level of dominance Hamilton has, and he extends his championship lead again to 37 points. If he doesn't make title number 7 this season, I'll be gobsmacked. Because you can't look, everyone is not on Hamilton's level in a minute. And I think that's now race. Let me have a look at his stats.
Thanks, Steve. Again.
He talks about the team again and about how they've worked together to win that Grand Prix. Team again. That's win number 88. We're 88, and he's chasing Schumacher's record of 91. And if he doesn't do it, that's this season. It's unbelievable. So if he doesn't get Schumacher's record of 91 race wins this season, I'll be astonished. He's on win number 88 now. He's just smashing every record that comes his way. Total will leave when Hamilton moves on. Yeah, so that could be another 5 years down the line, because Hamilton sees himself as though coming towards the end of his career, another 5 years at least. Thanks. I'll take that as a serious compliment. Thanks, Stephen. A bit of Murray Walker in your commentary. Yeah, but no one crashed as soon as I said he could see where he's going. So, not quite yet. So, big up Hamilton. Yes. So that's top 3 have just pulled back into the pits. Lando Norris struggled, but I think he came home. Oh no, he was fighting. He was stuck in this constant battle. So he's number 10. I think he came 10th in the end. Hamilton congratulating his team. Like elbows, no hands, even though he's got gloves on. Makes no sense, to be honest, because those gloves are when he touched the steering wheel. There you go. And he's probably sweated all the way through those gloves to be fair in those conditions. We have cockpit temperatures over about 50 degrees. Yeah, gonna leave it there. Thanks to everyone who has tuned in. See, so as long as Hamilton has the desire to carry on and be champion again and again, he won't slow down. Yeah, well, like he said, I think he said after the title number 5, he keeps driving like he has his deep fire burning like he had at 8 years old. And he said he will just keep going and going until that he reaches that, until that fire dies. And that's the thing with all races. I think that's what happened with Schumacher. That fire didn't die in 2006. It died in 2012. Yeah, great, interesting conversation between Toto and Corner. Toto making it quite clear that we didn't overheat. But I think it's more like Toto saying, yeah, we got a quicker car, bye, it's not ready. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Big up to everyone who's tuned in. Thanks for the comments and support, it means a lot. Smash a like on this video. And yeah, great. Thank you. I will be doing another stream at some point. Thank you. I will be on also Claude Labance's channel at some point doing an awareness stream. And don't forget to check them out and give them a like, a subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to his channel if you're new. And yeah, and I'll be back. That was also my review as well. So that I'll be back with probably another live stream of the Grand Prix. If it's not this week, it's this week coming. It's next weekend. So yeah, yeah. Social links if you ever want to have any questions in the description. Leave all your thoughts and comments, questions in the comments below. And yeah, take care and stay safe, stay well. Bye.